ihdina. Let's talk quickly about as-sirat al-mustaqim, inshallah. How is it translated? Yeah, guide us to the... Yeah, so the thing with that is that the Arabic language has multiple words for path. Sirat, tariq, fajj, sabil, etc. There's different words for path. Sirat in particular is actually a straight path. It's a straight path. It's not a curvy path. It's some tied to the word surat, which is a sword, a straight sword. It's also a wide road, so multiple people can fit on it. It's also a long road. So it's not a short journey, it is a long journey. Okay? These are few qualities of the word sirat. When you're asking Allah for this guidance, then you're asking Allah to be on a journey. And you know in that journey that there are no confusions. Like you can't see around the corner, you can see what's coming ahead. You can see what's coming. There is no confusion. And there are going to be other people that are on the road with you. That's the road you want to be on, along with others. Some people behind you, some people ahead of you. Some people came from behind and got ahead of you. Some people were ahead of you and now they're behind you. But that's okay. You have to keep moving forward. Okay? That's the path. Now the thing that's really remarkable in the language of the Quran, when it comes to path, just the language about paths, is that we actually don't ask for direction to a path in real life. We ask direction to a destination. Guide me to the resort. Guide me to the airport. Guide me to the university. Guide me to your house. Nobody says, guide me to the road. Because the road is not the end, the road is the means to the end, isn't it? So it's very strange that Allah, when He talks about asking for guidance, instead of us asking for the destination, guide us to Jannah, guide us to the conclusion, He asks, we are supposed to ask to get guidance to the road itself. Very different and very unique. And also very powerful. Understand that in this life, your destination is the road. In this life, your destination is the road itself. Which means, in this life, I have to continually make progress. As long as I'm making progress, I am on this path. Because the definition of a path is, if Allah mentioned a destination, you can get there and you can stop. You don't have to keep going because you reached it. But if you ask to get on a road, then by definition, you don't stop at a road. You keep what? You keep going. So our life as Muslims is actually not about becoming perfect. It's not about reaching some level and now, alhamdulillah, I reached it. Actually, it is about continual improvement. Continual progress, which is why you should not be intimidated by it. Some people look at this negatively. Oh my God, I'll never get perfect. I'll never get there. I'll have to keep going? How long? It's not like that. You know what that is? This is a gift from Allah. It's a gift from Allah. Because if it was a destination, you would see some people have reached it and you would say, I'd never get there. Forget it. That's not for me. Look at all those so far ahead. Oh my God. Like they've already reached the destination. You realize everybody's on a path. Some people are way behind, some people are way ahead, some people move slowly and some people move quickly. But that's okay so long as they are on the path, you're fine. So long as you're making progress. You're sitting in a class and there's a person next to you and they're taking notes, but they're taking notes in Arabic. You're like, I feel so stupid. You're sitting in a khutbah or you're sitting in a lecture and every time the imam quotes an ayah, the person next to you finishes the ayah. You're like, wow, I feel so remedial. I don't know anything. You go in a halaqah and this person next to you is reciting Quran like, oh my God. And then your turn came and you're like, oh, how am I going to get to Jannah? This guy's already got reserved tickets. What do? We compare ourselves to other people. And we think to ourselves, these people have more knowledge than we do, which means they must have more guidance than we do. That's your confusion, because you confuse knowledge with what? Guidance. They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. Don't stop comparing yourself to other people. Compare yourself to yourself from yesterday. Did you make progress on the road or no? And don't compare your pace with other people's pace. Your pace. What did you do? That's how you have to think about your deen. Allah did not create everybody the same. He did not create you so you can be like me, or me so I can be like you. No, we can be inspired by each other. You can encourage someone, look, I started there, I made it so far over here, but I have so much longer to go. You know? And don't let the worst thing happen to you. The worst thing. It happened to me for a while. It's the worst thing. Is you start out looking for guidance, and then you start confusing that with looking for knowledge, and then it becomes only about knowledge and not about guidance. That's the worst thing. The worst thing ever. Seek knowledge, but never forget why you're seeking knowledge. Knowledge is not the goal. Guidance is the goal. Learn more and then come back to Allah. Ya Allah, I've learned this. Through it, guide me more. I've learned this. Through it, guide me. Because you know when you forget that, it's easy to forget, by the way. You can become very knowledgeable and forget that it was about guidance. And you know what happens? Your knowledge, instead of making you more guided, it makes you more misguided because it makes you arrogant and you start thinking, oh, those people don't even know fiqh like I do. And these people, look at their tajweed. You know? And when you start looking at other human beings as less, you're arrogant. And a slave by definition is humble. That's the definition of a slave. A slave has nothing to be proud of. Because they're a slave. There's no lower job description. So if you have arrogance, then you've lost slavery. You've lost it. This is Ihdina as-Sirata al-Mustaqim, a very beautiful reality.